So, my people, God bless you all. I'm running a little bit behind, but it is important for us to see this video. I don't know if anyone else has seen the video. So, and this a Muslim already make a comment. The Muslim name is Jesus and his disciples were Muslims. So this guy already made a comment, and we're going to show you just how Muslim thinks. So look at his comment right here, and he says Christianity was created by the Roman pagans who were all Catholics. It's an evil cult. Do you see? And this video have something to do with this, where Muslims are making claims that they cannot substantiate it. Do you see that cannot be substantiated? They cannot substantiate the claims that they make because these Muslims are illiterate people. They are just parroting and what each other say. And this video that I'm going to show today is actually about this. But to set we gotta set the pace for this video, since it have to do with Islam. We're going to set the pace for the video. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is where these people are coming from and why it is totally illogical to actually, to listen to these people and their rhetoric is one thing, man. It's just crazy. No sense at all. No sense at all in the things that they say. They just speak because they have mouths. And let me just show this clown something. So do you see what this Muslim just says? This is what he says. This is what the Muslim says. Christianity was created by Roman pagan who was called Catholics. It's an evil cult. And this is how I feel about that stupid comment of this Muslim. This is exactly how I feel about that stupid comment, because that comment cannot be substantiated. Just shows that Muslims speak without using their brains. This Muslim is a perfect example of that.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Do you see what he says? So in response to my video, this guy, read the topic of my video, and before I could even start the live stream, he have some idiotic, stupid stuff to say. Some idiotic, stupid stuff to say. Where can this clown find evidence that Christianity was created by the Roman Catholic Church? Where can this stupid clown find that evidence? So here is this guy. Jesus and his disciples were Muslim, but where is the proof that Jesus and his disciples were Muslim? Jesus called his God Father. He referred to the one who he prayed to as Father. Muhammad's God in Surah 6, verse 101 says, "How can I have children when I have no wife?" Muhammad's God was thinking about sex. But Jesus and his disciples were Muslim. How? Make no sense. Make no sense whatsoever. But this, when you're dealing with a Muslim, this is the kind of stuff that you will get. When you're dealing, we are going to show you a video of a Muslim woman making claims that cannot be substantiated, because this is what Muslim does. They make stupid claims that they cannot substantiate. You will hear them all over, just making stupid claims that they cannot substantiate. And who else make these stupid claims? Allah of the Quran, Muhammad make this stupid claim. Once Muhammad tell a story about Moses. Moses met a boy, a young man, and started following this young man till they reached to a point where the young man killed another young man. And when Moses asked the man, why did you kill this man? The guy said, we fear that he will be disobedient to his parent. When you look in historical, all through history, you cannot find any proof of that. Muhammad tell another, that's from the Quran, just to show you the kind of God that these clowns worship. We see also in the story of Noah and the flood, we see where the God of Islam is making claim like one of the sons of Noah died in the flood. Historically, before Islam, there is no narrative, nothing that promote that one of Noah's son died. We cannot find no evidence that Noah have a son that died, because this is how the stupid demon that is behind these Muslims are promoting Islam by speaking things that have no historical support. Muhammad told a story about Moses and the stone, no historical support. Muhammad told a story about Dul-Qarnain going to a place where there is these people and making a wall that keep out these people, Gog and Magog and all this stupid. And this, guess what? There is no historical support. These people are just laugh. They are just people to laugh at. Islam is nothing but a comedy. No historical support for their claim. You see where this guy come here making this claim. Christianity was created by Roman pagans who were called Catholics. Where is the support for this claim? This guy is a donkey, a headless donkey. And this is what Islam is about, promoting illiteracy and promoting ignorance. And look at this video that I'm about to show you guys. But before we get into the video, I want to show you what Muhammad say about women. We already show what Muhammad believe about women, but because this video have to do with a woman, we are going to show you what Muhammad say about women. So let's share what Muhammad say about women so we can see where the self-fulfilling prophecy is coming from. The self-fulfilling prophecy is coming from. So Muhammad says the majority of women will go to hell. And the majority of people that will go to hell will be women. And literally that means the majority of people that will go to hell is women. And the majority of women will go to hell. This is actually, because if you look throughout history, there are more men in the world than women. So if Muhammad is saying, I have seen that the majority of the dweller of hell fire were you women, that means majority of the women created are going straight to hell. And this is what Muhammad says. So these women ask Muhammad, why is it so? And what Muhammad says, you curse frequently and are ungrateful to your husbands. So they curse frequently and are ungrateful to their husbands. I have not seen anyone so deficient in intelligence and religion than you. Deficient in intelligence and deficient in religion. A cautious man and sensible man could be led astray by some of you. And we know that Muhammad was poisoned by a woman. So we already covered that yesterday, but let's continue. The woman, the woman asks, "O Allah apostle, what is the deficiency what is deficient in our intelligence and religion. He says, he is not the evidence of two women equal to the witness of one man. They reply in affirmative. I don't know what kind of women these women are, because today, if you ever said this to a woman, you come and see a woman down the street and tell her that a man is more intelligent than her, and see what happens. And see what happened. This is the kind of society that they have, where men could talk down to women and belittle women, and women agree with it. They reply in affirmative. That means they agree with him that a man is more intelligent than a woman. He said, this is the deficiency in her intelligence. So a woman have deficiency in her intelligence. Isn't it true that a woman can neither pray nor fast during her menses? Look at this stupidity. Who made this rule? Do you see how stupid Muhammad is? Isn't it true that a woman can neither pray nor fast during her menses? Who made that rule? It is a woman make that rule. And where is it in the Torah that a woman cannot pray or fast during her menses? Muhammad made that rule. The women reply in affirmative, yes, because the rule was made by a man. He said, this is the deficiency in her religion. So a man create the deficiency in the Islamic woman religion, that she cannot pray or fast while she is on her period. I know there is some things that women in the Torah that women cannot do while they are on their menses, but nowhere is it written that a woman cannot pray, talk to her God while she's on her menses. Nowhere is it written that a woman cannot fast, dedicate her time to God while she's on her menses. Where is that ever written? Where is it? Muhammad made this rule, and then Muhammad said this is the deficiency. So the rule that is made by Muhammad become the deficiency in a woman's religion. And the rule that is made by Muhammad, that a woman's witness, the witness of a woman, is half that of a man, you will never find that in the Torah. So the rule that is made by Muhammad equal the deficiency in a woman's intelligence. Do you see what kind of society Muhammad create for women? A society where women can be beaten. A society where a woman cannot tell her husband she doesn't want to have sex, or the angel will curse her until the morning. And if a woman believes that angels will curse her until morning, what do you think she will do? She will succumb to having sex with a man that just beat her up. So the man beat his wife because he's disgruntled about something she do, and she refused to have sex with him. But because there is something that says the angel will curse her until the morning, then guess what happened? She succumbed after the man had just beat and bruised her to the point where she's green, because according to Aisha, she saw a woman whose skin was green from a man beating her. Do you see the kind of Islam, the kind of religion Islam is? So a woman cannot refuse sex from her abuser, because the Quran says you can abuse her by beating her. Quran 4 verse 34 said that you can beat her. And then Muhammad says if the man called the woman to bed and the woman say no, then the angel curse her until the morning. If a woman believes that angels will curse her until the morning, guess what? She's gonna succumb and then have sex with her abuser. The man just beat her black and blue. He will have sex with him after he had beaten her black and blue. So you see what a woman is. You see what a woman is. A man take an ox to the field, and he's plowing the field with the ox. And to make the ox go, he beat the ox. And then later, he want the ox to take food from the field for him to eat. And he saddled the ox, and then he throw the food on the cart that the ox is pulling, and the ox cannot say no. So a woman is just like an animal in Islam. Muhammad says when you are praying, if a dog, a donkey, or a woman pass before you while you're praying, your prayer is annulled. Your prayer is not good. Why is a woman in the category? And Aisha actually said to him, you put us in the category of a dog and an ass. Muhammad actually put women in the category of a dog and a ass. A HSS, a ass, donkey. This is the religion of Islam. But now let's get into this video so we can share with you guys what a discussion between everyone here. God bless you all, everyone here. You know, God bless you. And before I go any further, I want to say what I always say. All praises to the triune God, the God who is above all gods, the God who gives us wisdom to decipher things and to make sense of sensible things, and to make sense and to make nonsense of things that are nonsense. And Islam is nothing but folly and nonsense. So we're going to get into this video, and you're going to see where Bob from Speaker Corner is having a discussion with a Muslim woman. And you're going to see something that the Muslim woman say, because Muslims believe they are privileged, and everything that is good in this world can be attributed to Islam. Literally, that's what they believe. But you see where they will run from the eastern countries and they come to the western country. You see them loading up in Canada. You see them loading up in France, loading up in Great Britain, loading up in America. Right now, if you go to Dearborn, Michigan, you think you are in the Middle East. They transformed Dearborn, Michigan into like a place in the Middle East. If you go there, that's how you look. It looked like Dearborn, Michigan is taken out of the Middle East and dropped into Michigan. But they will criticize the Western world as if it is the worst world that they ever see. And everything good that the Western world owes, they will attribute it to Islam. And you will see this woman say something that is so stupid, so headless, so unintelligent, totally clownery, senseless babble. So let's get into the video. I saw this video yesterday and I said to myself, wow, did she really say what she just said? So let's get into it. Okay, so here we are. This is the video right here, titled Western Law versus Sharia Law, full video. Bob versus American Muslima. Speaker's Corner. And this American, can you imagine? American woman speaking like this. America, somebody living in America speaking like this. And let's start from the beginning.
You have not demonstrated with any evidence what you have said, which is that our Western law is based upon Sharia law. That is nonsense. The Afghans didn't run.
So she made the claim that the Western law is based upon Sharia law. where is the brain that this lady have? What did she do? And you're going to see how, as the Bob have been respectful to her and tried to tell the people intervening into the conversation while she's speaking to let her speak. Let her speak. Let her speak. You will hear Bob saying that. Then when she gets a chance to speak at one point in the video, you will see where, if you give, in Jamaica, they said, if you give a person a room to sleep in, they want the all. They want to take over the all, like the dining hall or the living hall. They want to take it over. And it actually means that if you give a person space to do something, they take all the space. That's what it means. And you will see where Bob gave her a space to talk and to express herself. And when it's time for Bob to talk, she didn't even want Bob to talk. But look, Bob is the one talking, and look at her face. You could see, what you see here? Pride. All pride. All pride. Have you ever seen a woman trying to take a selfie? There was a trend going on. I don't think it's there no more. I haven't seen it in a long time. Where a woman taking a selfie and she pursed her lips. She looked like she's taking a selfie here. And Bob is the one talking, not her. Because this is how arrogant a lot of these Muslims are. They believe that what they have, the world need it. Muhammad Ijab make a claim one day that Jordan Peterson need Islam. And then, not long after he make that claim that Jordan Peterson need Islam, guess what Jordan Peterson did? Make a video telling Islam that Islam need to change. He believed that Jordan Peterson is going to convert to Islam, to the point where an idiot called open-minded thinker took it up and actually say that Jordan Peterson convert to Islam. He actually took Muhammad's video, Ijab's video, and said that Jordan Peterson convert to Islam. Because the craziness of let me show you this video in a minute. Open-minded thinker, and I will show you this guy that what we say here can be proven. We don't make no claim that cannot be proven here. So if you go to his channel, you will see, if you put Jordanpeterson, look what come up. Okay, let me show you this, guys. Let me show you this. This is what happened, because Muslims are very arrogant people. Very arrogant, boastful, nonsensical. And when I say Muslim, I'm not targeting the lay Muslim. I'm targeting these ones out here who believe that they're better than Christians and just going around running off their mouth. Look at this. If you look at it right here, you see where he opened his mouth. Again, Jordan Peterson stunned the audience about Islam. You see that? This is what he do. Jordan Peterson. If you look at it, this is what this guy do. If you go to this, you will see where this guy actually have a video where he says Jordan Peterson shock the world. And Jordan Peterson is going to become a Muslim, and Muhammad Ijab is caught, name is mentioned into it. But then not long after, I actually made a video from that. Not long after, Jordan Peterson come out and said Islam need reformation. Literally, he told them to reform, to change their ideology. But Muhammad Ijab, because he's so arrogant and proud, predicted that Jordan Peterson will become a Muslim. If you think I'm lying, we go right here. Be free Muslims. And that's all you got to do. It's not hard to find these things. Hit on this and then go right here and put in MOHAMMEDHIJAB AORDANPETERSON. And you will see what comes up. What do you see here? If you do this, watch this. This is the right here. This is it right here. At Muhammad Ijab on growth, success, fatherhood, and Jordan Peterson. And you will see in this video where Muhammad Ijab actually believe that Jordan Peterson need Islam. This is, he actually says, and I'm actually quoting what he said. I believe Islam is what he need in his life. Because this is how arrogant these people are. They are arrogant people who believe that they can dictate for you what you need and what you don't need. You will see that with Daniel Ikikachu, where he's saying that it would be better if Sharia law run the Western countries, but this clown, you don't see him running to Pakistan. You don't see him running to Pakistan. You don't see him running to Saudi Arabia, and he's a grown man. That's a grown man. So why is it that these clowns don't run into Muslim majority country and go away from the United States? No, they won't, because the law that the liberty they enjoy here, they know they can't enjoy that liberty elsewhere. But this is what they do. So let's get back to the video.
Saudi Arabia, they run to the West because Western law is better than Sharia law. It is apparently for 500 years ago.
Do you hear what this guy said? 500 years ago. This is how ignorant they are. 500 years ago, they didn't have a language. He said 500 years ago, they didn't have a language in I don't know where he's talking, but he said 500 years ago, they didn't have a language.
They didn't even have a language yet. Arrogance and ignorance.
You see how ignorant and stupid they are. Just like when I just began the podcast, the guy said the Catholic create Christianity, because this is how ignorant a Muslim is. Jehovah's Witnesses used to be so ignorant too. They used to make ignorant claims like this. Now you don't see them make these ignorant claims where they say the Trinity was invented at the Council of Nicaea. You don't see them make that claim no more, because what? In the book of Daniel, the Bible told us that knowledge will increase. Knowledge will increase. Now that knowledge increase, because we have the internet, let me show you that God is speaking to us. KNOWLEDGE will increase. I'll show you where the Bible says that. In Daniel 12 verse 4. Daniel 12 verse 4. It told us that knowledge will increase. And when knowledge increase, these Jehovah's Witnesses cannot make the claim that they used to make. But because Muslims don't care about history, and they don't care about these kind of things, just like their God did not care about history, he made claim that cannot be historical proven. Their God and their prophet care not about history. They come with the same mindset, because the same demon that possessed Muhammad in the cave at Hira is the same demon that is leading these Muslims. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the word and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall increase. Now that knowledge increase, Jehovah's Witnesses cannot tell us no more that the doctrine of the Trinity is invented at the Council of Nicaea. Guess who is saying it now? Muslim, ignorant Muslims. Because this is how they decide to live their life. They decide to live their life so ignorant. Because, and then guess what? If you are ignorant and somebody say something, oh, and mention the Council of Nicaea, and you are ignorant of the Council of Nicaea, you believe, in most cases, an ignorant person will say, oh, wow, he seems like he's knowledgeable. Let me lean on him. So one blind is leading the other blind. And this is why you have this stupidity of Muslims circulating so often, where a Muslim could make a claim like this claim that this clown make. This is the first comment. Christianity was created by Roman pagans who were all Catholics. It's an evil cult. Do you see? They can make claims like these. Why can they make claims like these? Because they don't think that no one will look into the claim that they make. They don't think that no one is intelligent enough to see that their claim is stupid. A tragic comedy for Muslims. Islam is a tragic comedy for Muslims. And they don't see that. They don't see that. So my brother is saying here, it is scientifically proven that men and women are average, have same level of intelligence. There are, however, fat trail and bell curve with male intelligence. More men on the lowest and higher end of the spectrum. But what we must realize is this. What we must realize is this: the way the world is designed, the way the world is running. So is the world, if the world is running in the favor of women? No, it's not. The world is not running in the favor of women. The world is actually running in the favor of men. More things are exposed to men than it is exposed to women. And not only that, a man, intelligence is not only book intelligent, book smart. Intelligent have to do with street smart. And women are not exposed to the street like men are exposed to the street. But if you find a woman that is exposed to the street, you see the difference in a woman that is exposed to the street, especially if she is not out on the street to do stupidity, but out on the street to survive. You see the same sense of survival from a woman that you will see from a man. And sometimes you'll be like, wow, she behaved just like a man. Why? Because she know she have to behave that way in order to survive the street, because the street is designed for men, not designed for women. I've met women selling in the marketplace before, and when you look at her, you see feminine. She looks feminine, but her behavior is total masculine. Why? Because she knows she have to behave that way in order to take home money to her children, in order to take home bread to her children, because this is the culture she's growing up in. If she don't shout and behave the way the men behave in the marketplace, she won't make any money. She won't make any money. I used to sell in the marketplace. When I was a kid, I would get guinea. I don't know if you guys know what guinea is, but look it up. It's a Jamaican fruit. I used to get guinea, mangoes, and other stuff, take it to the marketplace to sell. And when you go to the marketplace, men's voices are louder than women's voices in most cases. And if a man is shouting, come get your guinea, come get your guinea, and a woman with a smaller voice, come get your guinea, come, who you think the attention is going to be on? The man. So a woman now realize that, oh, I got to do better. So she bass her voice, and she would echo her voice to you, be like it so rough and so coarse, because she knows she have to compete. And she would push just like the man is pushing just to survive, because she have to behave in that way. But anyway, let's continue with the video, because that's what we are here for.
Islam, by contrast, just to demonstrate how wrong you are, Islam, by contrast, has no concept of a nation state. It has no concept. It believes in an ummah, and it believes in a caliphate.
My problem with it, and that's a very important part that happens a lot and is mistaken a lot, is your translation is wrong.
Okay, right. So
when you get, you can show me all those stupid dumb pictures, but you have no source.
Do you notice what she says? Your stupid dumb pictures. You can show me all your stupid dumb pictures, but you have no source. And guess what? Islamic sources is what she's calling stupid and dumb, because the moment she make up her mind, and this is how Muslim work, it's not only her. The moment she make up her mind on a concept and something that she already said, there is no going back for her. She will tear down Muhammad. She will tear down the scholars. She will tear down even Allah to establish her opinion.
Islamic sources are stupid and dumb. We totally agree. And notice also that all the Muslims in this park pushing Sharia law, they're not running to Sharia law countries. They're not. They're staying here.
Yeah. Do you see what they do? And this is so crazy that, it's like me. I'm from Jamaica, and there's one reason why I'm here. One reason. Because Jamaica is a beautiful country. Very beautiful country. There are many reasons I'm here now, but there was one reason that made me come here. There's many reasons now why I'm here, but there's one reason I come here. Because of the way the America is designed, it's designed for you to survive. It's designed, if you have health, strength, in godliness, which is, and health and strength come from God. If you have health, strength, and godliness, and you have determination, which is also from God Almighty, because by the sweat of your brow you eat your bread, you can survive here. You don't have to have education to survive in America if you have health, strength, and God Almighty. The reason is, which health and strength come from God Almighty anyway. The reason is, I could go down the block, especially now. And a lot of people talk about the economy and what's going on in the economy, but I've never seen a time when it's more easier to get a job since I've been here. To be real with you, I'm just making a true statement. Right now, if I take up my cell phone like this and show you, I am a nurse, but if I take up my cell phone and show you my email, the amount of job opportunities that are coming to my email from Amazon, from the city that I live in, from UPS, from, oh my God, Wayfair, all over, man. I'm telling you, all over, from all kind of things. Job openings. I've never seen that before since I've been here. I've never seen that before since I've been here. So even with the economy so bad, we know there's something going on with the economy. It's easier now for me. I don't know about the other person, but it's easier for me to get a job now than it was for 3-4 years ago. It is true. Reality. I'm not talking politics, but I'm just talking reality. And I could prove that from all the email that I got. If I open up my email right now and start reading, I'll be like, whoa, what's going on here? What is going on? I actually said to somebody the other day at my job, if somebody said it, here we are, the little clinic You know, right there, there is job right there. One job right there. This thing right here, and there is jobs and 5 licensed practical nurse job in Ohio, RN job, all kind of job, all kind of job, all kind of job, all over, and not only nursing jobs, it's all kind of job, all kind of job. I'm telling you. Look at this one here. You see, airport, early morning postal worker, mail clerk, at-home assistant, work from home, grocery store, hospital front desk, personal assistant. This is it. And this is why I say I come here because of survival. It's a better place to survive. It gives you freedom to be what you want to be. If I wanted to be, if I pushed for it, if I wanted to be more than a nurse, I could be more than a nurse in America. I could. I actually went to school to be an occupational therapist and fall out of love with it when I was in my final clinical. And that's why I am not a nurse plus an occupational therapist. Reality. That is true. I love nursing, and I said, man, what am I doing? Why am I getting this? And I fall out. I fall out of it because I was paying for it cash, and I waste my money, literally. But that's life. Why did I come here? Because I see that there's something better here. But these Muslims, they will come here and act as if what they're running from is better than what they run to. And that's a lie. This lady right here is telling herself a lie. A total lie. And guess what? The place is so because of them, look at the police. Not because of the Christian, but because of them, look at the police. There's 2 police officers right here because of them. Because they go to the park, they come from where they come from and go to the park fighting Christians. And look, because of them, there's 2 police right here. Not only that, man. Just look at what's going on. Why is it that when things happen in Afghanistan the other day when Taliban coming in, why is it that the Muslim from Afghanistan did not run and try, oh, let's go to Saudi Arabia? Where did they want to go? They want to come to Europe, and they want to come to the America. Canada, Europe, and the America. Why? Because of the structure of things created under some form of Christian law, some form, not in every form, but some form of Christian law. Life, you could live a more peaceful, restful life here, where you're not oppressed as you are in those Muslim countries. Like, for example, this woman right here, if she was living in Saudi Arabia, like 2-3 years ago, or maybe 4 or 5 years ago, 2-3 years ago, really, she could not drive a car. But I'm sure she drove a car. But she come here acting as if where she comes from is better than where she is right now. And guess what? And taking the credit away from where she is right now and trying to give it to Islam. Oh, the law in the Western world is built from Sharia law.
Because Sharia is so great, they want to stay as far away from it as they possibly can. And the reason why is because our codification of law.
Look, everybody there listening, she decided to step in. And listen what she stepped in and said.
Is better than Islamic law. Go on, madam.
There is a Sharia law. They use it actually. It started from Sharia law.
Where?
The Netherlands, UK actually.
Do you hear what she says? There is a Sharia law, they just don't use it. Of course, this is Europe. Lately, Sharia law is slowly coming into Europe. Lately, Sharia law is slowly coming into Europe. Some of the things that the Muslims do in these European countries and get away with it, they could never do elsewhere. They could never do it in some places. And see, Australia, you think they could do some of the stuff that they do in France and Great Britain? They could not do it in Australia.
There's Sharia law. You're saying that the governing principle.
So I don't know why you're claiming.
I'm afraid, madam, that you just don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm afraid you don't know what you're
So
do you see what she says? The governing principle is based on Sharia law. How ignorant that is. How ignorant and senseless that is.
please tell me, Sharia law in this country. You're saying that our law is based on Sharia law.
Actually,
Can you demonstrate the principles that show that English?
Hey, this guy right here is called Uncle. It stunned Uncle so much that he could not stop talking. I want Uncle to calm down for a minute, but it bothers Uncle so much that Uncle could not stop talking because he's an elderly man and he could not hold his peace. Like, woman, what are you talking about? What is wrong with you?
Saxon law. In fact, let me just ask you a basic question. Do you even know when Saxon law began?
Female genital mutilation.
This is the history. No, it's okay.
Do you... Uncle in the back talking about female genital mutilation. It bothers Uncle so much that he said, man, woman, if Sharia law was here, you would not be having the same kind of private part.
Uncle, this is the history of my people. When did our legal system begin?
actually in the middle, in the beginning of the Netherlands.
No, we're talking about England.
No, I'm talking about the Netherlands.
You so here she is now talking about the Netherlands. They are in England talking, and she decided, okay, let's talk about the Netherlands. She's talking to a British man. She's in Britain, in Speaker's Corner in Britain, and what she decided to talk about, the Netherlands. But this guy is talking about people running from their country. Bobby is talking about people running from their country to come to the Western world. But let's zoom in on the Netherlands.
England and Netherlands.
I mean Western countries.
That's including.
Now
England.
she says Western countries. First she said Netherlands. Now she said Western countries. Including what? Canada. Including who? What? America. Let's see what the lady says.
Yeah, but the basis of is most of them are based on the Sharia law. Actually.
Right. Prove it.
Most of them are based on the Sharia law. What a beautiful soul. What is going on in her head, man? What is wrong with her?
Okay, not
Jury. Female genital mutilation is
No, Uncle, it's all right. Uncle, it's okay. Let the lady speak. Uncle, let the lady speak. Go on.
Napoleon. What's his name? I'm sorry, I'm very bad at names.
It's
The
okay.
guy from France, the Napoli or something.
Napoleon.
Thank you.
Right.
My bad at
Okay.
names. When he saw it actually in the Middle East and stuff, he saw the Sharia law and it interested him.
Okay.
So he took it with him
Yeah.
to the Western countries and actually based it on.
Do you hear what she says? Napoleon took the Sharia law to the Western countries. So literally what this lady is saying, Western law begins with Napoleon. What a lady this lady is, man.
The rules on the Sharia law.
Okay, can I reply to that?
Of course.
Because what you're saying is a historical nonsense.
It's
Yeah,
actually
no. Hold on one second.
What you're saying is a historical nonsense. And Bob, this is what I feel about what she said. Let me show you what I feel about what she said. What a lady, man. And to be real with you, what can you do? You can't insult her. You just have to pity her, because where she learned that from, I have no clue. So this is what I feel about what she just said.
Just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Listening to her make everybody dumber than they were. Can you imagine that? She said Napoleon, as if Western law start with Napoleon. Where is Western law start with Napoleon? What law is she talking about?
The French Revolution happened before Napoleon came to power, and Napoleon established the Republic and the laws of the Republic before he invaded Egypt. He didn't go on some like holiday to Egypt or holiday to the Middle East and then bring back Sharia law. The Enlightenment idea is an eternal European idea. It is not something that is built on Sharia. I don't know where you've got this myth from, but it is complete myth. It's a history. Then they have lied to you, madam. It's simply a lie.
These facts are straight.
What university she says?
No, the Enlightenment idea is an eternal European idea. It is not something that is built on Sharia. I don't know where you've got this myth from, but it is complete myth. It's a history. Then they have lied to you, madam. It's simply a lie.
These facts are straight because
I can't hear what university she says. Wow, she got that from university. That Western law is based on Napoleon, something established by Napoleon. What? Where did she get that from? What a lady, man.
Napoleon, when he came to Egypt, and you say
Napoleon.
he doesn't bring
Napoleon.
Thank you. When he came to Egypt, he took a lot of things with him.
He conquered Egypt.
Yeah, but he at least as well took a lot of ideas.
Yeah, he took a lot of loot.
Revolution actually took always things with it. So how are you surprised about
Napoleon was arguing. Shall I tell you what? Let me demonstrate that you don't know what you're talking about. Napoleon argued for the idea of a nation state. This contradicts entirely. See, she's not even listening. She's not even listening. She wanted to have a conversation. She's not even listening.
I'm listening.
Right. So Napoleon wanted to establish the idea of a constitutional nation state in which citizens reduced their religion to the private sphere and then behaved according to secular law in the public sphere. That was the principles of the Republic. Islam, by contrast, just to demonstrate how wrong you are, Islam, by contrast, has no concept of a nation state. It has no concept. It believes in an ummah and it believes in a caliphate. So how do you say that the...
So we see Islam believe in a religious state, like the religion control. The religion is what controls everything in the state. It's like the Vatican City, where the Vatican City is actually a country of its own and is controlled and ruled by what? The religious sect. That's what Islam is similar to. Have nothing to do with what America, look at America. America is supposed to, according to constitution and stuff, to divide government from religion, even though lately we don't see them doing that, but you know, that's what it's supposed to be. So I don't know how this lady said they took from Sharia law. No, nothing in the West have nothing to do with Sharia law.
The idea of a secular republic is something that was borrowed from the Islamic world.
Do you know what the word ummah means, sir?
Yeah, it means people.
How people?
People defined by their religious identity.
Not only that.
Yeah.
Ummah also means a group that is well put together and is here for each other.
Brilliant. Okay.
And what does that have? Ummah is still a religious group. Ummah could never be. Where have you seen a Ummah being used for a group of people put together, care for each other, apart from Islam? No, you don't see that word Ummah used for other people. Ummah is used only for Islam, a religious sect of people. So at the same time, when Bob make his claim, I don't know why she decided that what Bob says was not sufficient.
Okay, and how does that demonstrate that the idea of a secular republic is antithetical to the idea of a caliphate?
You're actually.
Is Shia Ummah or Muslim?
Well, it's a question. Which kind of ummah are we talking about first?
Which kind of
Are we talking about
you
Shia
are
ummah or
talking?
Sunni ummah?
Or Wahhabi Ummah or Marzai Ummah?
Sunni ummah.
What kind of Ummah you are talking about?
Let the ladies, yeah. Let the lady speak. Let the lady speak. One. Napoleon. Yeah. It's okay. Don't worry.
Wanted a nation as well with the principles of an ummah.
Right. No. He wants so. But
no, he didn't want a nation with the principle of a ummah, because the ummah is a religious, have something to do with religion, have nothing to do with a secular state. This is how naive she is. She reads something somewhere, possibly, and she's zooming on it, even though it's ignorant. It is from an ignorant source. It's just like the Muslim who first comment here, how you see him say, you go up and see where he says Christianity was invented by the Roman Catholic Church. This is what ignorance that Islam bring to people. Where to the point where you cannot learn, you cannot grow, you cannot learn. I like what you say here. Bob is too clever for this kind of Bob is too educated for this kind of stuff. That is certainly true, man. Bob is putting on a clinic. I don't think I have this kind of patience when it comes to dealing with people that lack any firm grounding in essential facts. It's difficult to talk to them. I see last night, did you see last night when Chris Claus sent God Logic a text to get rid of that that Muslim because the guy have no cognitive skill, and Chris Claus just get tired of him and they'll say, hey, you know what, man? Let me send my brother a text. And say, read your text, brother. He read the text. And boom, they got rid of him. Click him out. Because he just keep repeating the same stuff. Yeah. He keep repeating the same stupidity over and over and over. Over again. He would not stop repeating the same stupidity that Chris Claus got tired of him and say, hey, you know what? Let me send my brother a text. Yeah, Shahid arguing that Messiah mean helper. What a clown, man. Right. This is how ignorant they are to the point. And then he says Messiah, the Arabic word for Messiah did not come from the Hebrew. That's what he says. He literally says the Arabic word for Messiah did not come from the Hebrew. How is it not from the Hebrew? How is it not from the Hebrew? This, I'm telling you, Islam will turn you into an idiot, man. And when I say Islam will turn you into an idiot, I'm talking about the people who actually have to defend Islam. The people who actually have to defend it will defend it in a way that make them look like they are idiots. Because if you have to defend it against people who are educated, it's crazy.
What you failed to do is to demonstrate how those ideas came from the Islamic world, because that's your thesis, that's your argument. No, but he didn't get that from Egypt, because what Islam teaches and what the Republicans of the French Revolution, taught was the idea that religion should be private and should not dominate the state. Now, Islam, by contrast, says that Sharia law should dominate the state. Now, you have heard a rhetoric from a lecturer, and they have lied to you and misled you in an ahistorical fashion.
And guess what? Probably a Muslim lecturer. Probably a Muslim lecturer. Heard that from a Muslim lecturer. Probably a Muslim lecturer misrepresenting the fact. Because when you go to college, if you're learning historical things, a lot of time the history that you learn is not true. Reality. If you are learning about nursing, science, anything to do with science, biology, chemistry, physics, then you're going to learn reality. But if you are learning, and not all-time reality, because science and stuff like that believe in evolution and all this crazy stuff. But when you're talking about, if you're going to school to be a doctor, if you're going to learn biology of the human body, what you learn is more, I'm telling you, most of the time is the truth. When you learn about the heart, you learn about the kidney, you learn about the circulatory system, which is the heart is a part of the circulatory system. You're going to learn about the respiratory system. You're going to learn about the endocrine system, lymphatic system, all these systems. You learning knowledge. You're getting knowledge. But when you go to get history, it could be from a one man's opinion. The man could be teaching from his own opinion what he's giving to you. And what he's giving to you is not really the truth. You're not, and you come out echoing what he says. You come out echoing what he says. We learn that the Indians were savages. That's what I learned when I was going, that the Indians were savages. And then when you look at it, were they really savages? I'm not saying that some may not be savages, but the Indians that were called savages were not savages at all. They were on defense. They were defending their homeland. They were defending what they have, and they defended according to their laws and the way they know how. That's what they were doing. So we can't really call them savages, because that's what they were doing. If an Indian was eating people, cannibal, then you could call a person savage. They were capturing women like Muhammad and doing the stuff that Muhammad do, then you could call them savage. But if they're defending their homeland and stuff like that, you cannot call them savage. And the way they defend their homeland is the way they know how to do it.
Because I don't know. I don't know why they've sought to do that. They're either ignorant themselves or they're misinformed themselves. But I'm telling you, you're factually wrong.
Actually, no. I think you should do your research upon this issue.
Okay, so you're...
So what she decided to do, because she go to school, and that's what a lot of people do. One time someone asked me, I said, my sister is going to school. She said, how is your sister? I said, she going to school. And the lady says, is she going to a university or a regular college? And I was like, what does that matter? What matter? What is it? Why is it so important that you want to know that if she's going to a university or just a regular college? I didn't know. And I was like, whoa, she actually believed that the education, if you go to a regular college to be a nurse, is less than going to a university to be a nurse. As if you're not passing the same board to become licensed. To get a license, you have to pass the same board. And I'm like, wow. A majority of what you really learn as a nurse, you learn it when you become a nurse. not while you were in school. It's crazy.
Your teacher is wrong, and I'll
He's a
debate him.
Dutch teacher,
I'll
actually,
debate him.
himself.
I'll debate him.
Cool.
Great.
Even
So,
the
but one,
understanding of
uncle,
Ummah is wrong.
uncle, please,
Understanding of
uncle,
Ummah is wrong.
please, uncle.
What do you want to say, sir?
Your understanding about Ummah is wrong.
Explain.
Wrong, because you Muslims are divided in 73 sects.
More.
More.
And Christianity
And
too,
more.
and
And you
Wow. So now they're talking about Ummah and Islam, and she said, and Christianity too, as if that, what does that do to the conversation? When they're not talking about Christianity, they're talking about they're talking about Islam, because you're talking about Sharia law. Sharia law is Islam. Sharia law have nothing to do with Christianity. But do you see what happened to her? She is so defensive that she can't learn anything. Because why, if a person say your Ummah, the word Ummah is mentioned in the conversation, and he is saying that Ummah is divided into so many sects with so many different laws, and you are saying that your Christianity too, how does that give any information, add any information to the conversation? You become defensive, and that when a person is in defensive mode, they can't learn nothing. When you are in defensive mode, you cannot learn nothing. And Muhammad and the Quran put Muslim in defensive mode. They are always in defensive mode. Like, oh, let's go at them. Let's go back at them. They say something about our religion, let's go back at them. Even though what they may say have nothing to do with the conversation, let's go back at them.
You are coming here and telling us that you Muslims are Ummah, whereas Shias are different, Sunnis are different, Wahhabis are different, Mirzais are different.
Spubs.
Look,
Many.
but
70,
what you're saying is true
73
about-
Sadie.
what you're
Okay,
saying
let her
is
reply.
true about the 73 and everything, but it's
Yeah.
also true with the Christianity and everything.
Oh, no.
Do you hear that? She had to put that in. It's also true with Christianity and everything. Christianity, they're not talking about Christianity, they're talking about what you claim. You claim that the Western law copied from Sharia law. That Western law is built from Sharia law.
Wait, no,
say
uncle,
Ummah.
uncle.
We don't call ourselves
Uncle,
Ummah, no.
let her speak. Let her speak.
No, don't misunderstand us.
Uncle, let her speak. Go
I
on.
mean, in all the religions, there's around 70 or more differences. That's just human. The fact that we
So
want
which
to,
one will be
No,
we
let her
want to
speak,
focus on
uncle.
one
Let
good
her
thing.
speak.
We want to be focused on a good thing. That we have an ummah doesn't mean that you can have everyone do or say or listen or be with what you would like to achieve. That's the imperfection of being
Sister,
human.
may I reply? What's your name? Just
Sarah.
Sarah, I just want to return to the point. So firstly, I just want to say as a side note, Islam has more than 73 sects. The prophecy of Muhammad was wrong. He said that the Ummah would divide into 73 sects, but the reality is there's more than 73 sects, and it doesn't matter how you cut it, there's more than 73. So Muhammad just prophesied wrong, full stop. But I want to come back to this idea of our law is based on Sharia law, because this is utter nonsense. Let me just tell you. You should, because the fact is the Enlightenment philosophers that established the Republican ideology of the First Republic were more inspired by Greco-Roman paganism than they were by anything else. They were even more inspired by Greco-Roman paganism than they were by Christianity. They were actually an anti-Christian movement. That's what the Enlightenment was, a reaction to Christianity. In this country, because you also said this country as well, which is why I knew I was wrong. This is utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. So, for example, let's take the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire, which was something that was conquered by Napoleon in his fight against Prussia. The Holy Roman Empire was based upon a vision, a communion of two things. Well, three things: Greek philosophy, Roman law, Christian theology. And the principles of a Christian state are very different from an Islamic state. So, and I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. So within a Christian state, the institution of the church and the institution of the state sit separately. They work together. They're meant to work together. And they're both meant to be filled with Christians. But in Islam, there is firstly no idea of a church-state separation. You believe that they're one and the same thing. In the Christian faith, we believe that our faith should be lived out publicly. But the Republicans of the Enlightenment believe that faith should be relegated to something private and individual. The church believes in collectivism. The Republican ideology believed in individual rationalism. Now, demonstrate to me that they got that idea of the individual rational being who precludes faith to the private sphere from Islam. Show me in Islam where that idea comes from, because I'm telling you it doesn't come from Islam. It comes from, in the Enlightenment, philosophers. You could just accept you're wrong, that your lecturer misled you.
I'm very sure actually he's not wrong, because
arrogance. That's what you call pure arrogance. She will not accept that she's wrong because Islam is in her head to make her feel like she is superior to other people's belief. Islam in her head make her believe that her belief is superior. And she, maybe no lecturer, to be real with you, from what we're seeing on the lying of these Abduls, maybe no lecturer tell her that. She read that somewhere. Maybe no lecturer, because he says American, what he says? Bob versus American Muslima. American Muslima. Maybe no lecturer tell her that. She read that somewhere. And in school, in college, you write your thesis and you write all these stuff. And in her research to make herself, to establish Islam as if Islam is better than Western societies and better than Western moral and Western things, she researched and finds some form of information that is false, and she decided to use it. And she said a lecturer told her about that. This, to be real with you, this is what I'm seeing and gathering from this whole conversation. What lecturer in an American university, if not a Muslim, would tell her that Napoleon took from Sharia law and the French state is based on Sharia law, and the Western government and the way they run things and Western law is based on Sharia. Where anybody in their right mind, where can you see these things? Where do you see this? Anybody in your right mind, can you find this anywhere? And no. Where do you get that support from? Where at all? You get that support from? When you can find citation easily for many, many things, you cannot find any citation for this. In Western world, we have a jury system. Western law in Jamaica, in Canada, United States, Great Britain, France, we have a jury system that exists way back before Christ. Exist in Europe before Christ. So I don't know where this lady is getting her idea from. Where this lady is getting her idea from.
So what evidence did he give you? What evidence did he give you?
Well, especially in the Netherlands, are based upon rules.
So, I mean, there's obviously some message probably knocking me at this point that's just been passed. Yeah. There's probably some insulting message that's just been passed between them.
Don't assume.
Yeah, I am
If you
assuming.
wanna have a
What did it say?
professional
What did it
conversation,
say?
if you wanna have
What
a
does it say?
professional conversation-
The jury is taken from the law of
Yeah.
Islam. Jury.
Yeah.
Do you see that? So the jury is taken from the law of Islam. The jury. Can you imagine that? Islam come about when? When did Islam come about? In the 7th century, right? 7th century. Islam come about. And anybody who know about the jury system, when did the jury system exist? Aristotle wrote about the jury system. Aristotle wrote about the jury system because in Greece, they have the jury system in Greece. In Greece, the Greeks have the jury system. This is something that anybody could look up. You just put jury system edu just to make sure that you're getting it from a credible source. You put the word, you put the prefix edu there, which means it's from an education. You will get it from a college or somewhere that have done their research. And if you put jury system edu, guess what coming up? You will see where the Greek are the first, according to history, maybe exists before the Greek, but according to history and what we can prove, the Greek were the first to implement the jury system. But oh boy, that's before Jesus. We are talking about 400 BC. We're talking about 400 BC, and Muhammad and Islam exists in 400 BC. What a religion, man, of deceivers.
Right, you see,
that's
the
jury. Plato in the Republic talks about the 10 men of the jury.
Pagans.
Yes. Do you see this guy have to come in because he realized that these people are crazy? Plato talk about the jury. Aristotle talk about the jury. All these people talk about the jury system. But the jury system come from Islam. And when she got the information from the Muslim clown to the to the left with the cell phone, she smiled. She smiled. But the brother here that came up from behind Bob and is speaking now realized, like, whoa, I go to school. I didn't learn that. Where was Islam at the time when Plato lives? Where was Islam at the time when Aristotle lived?
Had before Islam. No, bro, I'm sorry.
She said, no, before Islam. Any one of you right now, let me do it right now and show you guys. Literally, we are going to do it right now and just show you guys. All you got to do is look for things. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to go to an empty page where there is nothing. And I'm going to put, let me share this with you. Empty tab, a new tab. So this is a new tab right here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put jury system edu. And see what we can get. See what we can get. See, not most of these things are coming up talking about law, American law. We need something more than these kind of things. So let's see this page right here. Historical and constitutional context of jury reform. I don't think that will come up with that. I don't think jury system going jury system. Let's see. Okay, let's put Plato right here, because last night I put jury system and it came up so easily. Let's put that there. So here we have jury theorems. Let's see what this says. Let us see what this says about the jury system. Just to show you that jury theorem and mathematical theorem about the ability of collective to make correct decision. Several jury theorem carry the optimistic message in suitable circumstances. Crowds are wise. Many individuals gather using. Do you see that? Crowds are wise. Many individuals together using, for instance, majority voting, tend to make good decision. So if we put the word Plato, let's see what if we can put Plato into this and see what comes up. What we learn about Plato, because since the guy mentioned Plato, and then I'm going to philosophy. So the only time we see Plato there is right there. Jury theorem on epistemic social choice theory. But you can see that nobody from this, what we're seeing here, we see something about Plato there. I don't know if I open it what it's gonna lead to, you know, but it's not hard to find that Plato Stanford University archive. And but if we just go back here, let's see, and we put let's see, in History. Who invented the jury system? Okay. By the late 800s, under the leadership of Alfred the Great, trials by a jury of one's peer. Do you see this? If you should look and see when Napoleon, when did Napoleon live? Napoleon, Napoleon, I think that's how it's spelled. So if you should look at the time when Napoleon lived, what time did Napoleon live? Napoleon lived like when? What time? Okay, even if you put conquer, CONQUER, Egypt, EGYPT. The French champion. So if you should look at this, let me show you just to show you how this Muslim is naive and she's not speaking the truth. She don't know what she's talking about. So we're going to share two things with you guys. It's not hard to share and to find things. The French campaign in Egypt and Syria, 1798 to 1801, was Napoleon Bonaparte's campaign in the Ottoman territory of Egypt and Syria to proclaim, to defend. So you see this, even though this is Wikipedia, you could actually go to other places and found these things. You know, it's not like, oh, Wikipedia said it and look at this. This is not, this is actually .gov. And what it says, 1799, 1798. Do you see? Napoleon in Egypt, the battle for the pyramids. Do you see what it says right here? 1798. But if you should look at when the jury system is implemented, you see that it is implemented way before that. And this is how naive these people are. That, look at this. Look at this right here. By the late 1800s, just after Muhammad, not long after Muhammad, under the leadership of Alfred the Great, trial by a jury of one spear became the norm throughout England. Blackstone, the great historian of English common law, considered Frankish inquest developed in what? As the modern jury system. Do you see this? If you look, who invented the jury system? And then look in America, 1630. Even in America, and this is Massachusetts.gov. Even in America, this happened before. What is this guy name? Napoleon Bonaparte. Look at this. 1630, the first jury trial in American colony was held in Plymouth. Do you see this? Muslims are just arrogant, ignorant, and they love ignorance. They love ignorance. You see ignorance in the Quran. You see ignorance in the Hadith. Just ignorance, total ignorance. And they dwell upon ignorance. They feast and they marinate themselves in ignorance. They are like jerk chicken. Before you jerk some chicken, you have to clean the chicken, marinate the chicken for a couple of days or overnight in some form of brine or seasoning in order to get the real good jerk. They love to marinate themselves into stupidity so they can come out in public and be jerks. This is what a Muslim do. When I say a Muslim, I'm not talking about the regular Muslim at home. The ones who are out here confronting Christians and believe that they can brainwash Christians, this is what they do. Where do you see? If you look at the history of Napoleon conquered Egypt literally in the 18th century, because it is in the late 17th century, so it's heading towards the 18th century. But you see right here, in the 17th century, which is 1630, the first trial by jury held in Massachusetts, held here in Plymouth, held in the United States. Do you see that? This is how naive these people are. Naive these people are. Historic origin of trial by jury, and this is EDU. Always look for things where they say EDU or .gov, because it is more truthful than when you go to a regular site and look for these things. And you will see these things, historical origin. Let me see if I can get this bigger. Historical origin of trial by jury. This is not an attempt to trace minutely the origin of the trial by jury, for it would take a volume to compass that. Okay. Anglo-Saxon, Norman conquest. So we see here that's way before anything to do with Muhammad, anything to do. But guess what? The Muslims, I don't think I will have to search through this to find any information on that. But just to get back to where we were, everybody, bro, jury trial and Wikipedia. Do you see? Yeah, I've seen that, my brother. I've seen that, my brother. It is illiterate and foolish to believe that the jury system was invented based on Islam. Why would you limit yourself to this kind of belief?
Plato.
Sorry.
Have you read Plato?
Rash.
Yes or no?
No.
Okay, I could tell. Because if you Plato in the Republic talks about the judge, and he talks about the judge hopefully being a philosopher and having 10 men. He describes 10 men of philosophical training as a jury that would then come with a decision. This is in the Republic.
This is before even our Lord was born. This is before.
Yes. And I'm telling you, man, if you just put way before Jesus enter his creation, way before Jesus enter his creation, we see these things. You know, it's sad to see human being behave like this in the 21st century and claim she go to college. And claim she go to college. Claim she go to college and behave like that. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine? Claim that she go to college. If you look, just put jury system Aristotle. You see, according to Aristotle, whoever controlled the court controlled the state. Aristotle. We're not talking about who should I say? Pope John Paul. We are talking about Aristotle. Aristotle know that the ancient Athenians, if I'm pronouncing the word right, in Athens, ancient Athens, they have court of law with jurors. Court of law. So even before the 9th and the 8th century, before Napoleon Bonaparte, way before our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ make his advent on earth, we have court of law with jury. We have court of law with jury. And actually, a lot of the system that Muhammad implemented came from Jewish sources. I don't know how you could live in today's world and believe that the modern system in the United States or Canada are in Europe is taken from Sharia law. Sharia law is backwards, taking people backwards. That's what Sharia law do. Taking people backwards, like literally taking people back before even Aristotle. Taking people back even before Plato. That's what Sharia law does. Take people backwards, way back before there was any court system, because we can see it here. These courts were jury courts, and very large one. The smallest possible had 200 members plus one to avoid a tie. So they have 200 members plus an additional member to avoid ties. And sometimes 501, sometimes 1,000, or sometimes 5,000 people in one jury. Annual pools of jurors whose official name were actually given a name for the jurors. I would just have to put it here for you guys to see. I can't pronounce this word. And I don't want to look like. So this is the word right here we're going to share with you guys, that the jurors were called. The jurors were called this name right there. And this lady is sitting there with Bob, arguing with this guy who is way more intelligent than she is, and telling us that juror system was invented, and even the other Muslim to the side, juror system was invented by Sharia and Islam. What a stupidity. And that Western law is based on Sharia law. Where is the head on these people? Where is the head on these people? Why do they limit themselves to this kind of stupidity? Why is it that you are a human being and limit yourself to this kind of stupidity? What is the purpose behind this? Why do you do this to yourself? Why? Why? In a modern world, why do you limit yourself to this kind of stupidity?
Lord Jesus Christ.
This
So,
is nonsense.
can we just say to you,
the brother said, this is nonsense. He cannot believe that this woman is so. Even if you're not educated on these things, you could tell that that's a lie. You could just tell, no, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right.
The reason why Muslims like yourself are trying to claim the heritage that doesn't belong to you, and are trying to claim every good idea as being an Islamic one.
Wow. Bob, I'm telling you, man. Bob is a more intelligent version of me. Bob is a more intelligent version of me, because these are the things that I look at. Islam always behave as if they are superior to other people. Just like the Jehovah's Witness, a cult. Cults always believe as if they are superior to other people. As if they are superior to other people in every aspect of life. Every aspect of life. They will tell you, don't go. Jehovah's Witness was teaching, don't go to school, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Several times Jehovah's Witness teach that people shouldn't go to school. And you see where Daniel Ikikachu is teaching that women should not go to school. So how did she go to school and she come out being a fool? You have your Muslim brother telling you that women should not be educated. In Western education, women should not even be educated at all. And then you go to school and to come out to prove that Daniel Ikikachu is an idiot. And guess what? you can't prove that Daniel Ikikachu is an idiot. This is sad when you have a Muslim woman go to school and to prove his Muslim brother that you are an idiot because you said women should not go to school, but you come out of school and you claim you learn from you learn in school that the jury system was created by Sharia law. The jury system was created by Sharia law. Let me show you what Daniel Ikikachu, if I can find it, say about Muslim women, that they should not go to school. Let me show you. Here it is right here. Daniel Ikikachu says Muslim women should not go to school. And this lady is actually proving Daniel Ikikachu to be right. Her behavior is showing like, oh, Daniel Ikikachu, you are the most wise Muslim ever because I go to school and I don't know crap. So why go to school? If I go to school and I don't know crap, then let's not go to school at all. Here is a debate, Daniel Ikikachu versus a female Muslim, a Muslim woman. And what you see here, feminist hijabi debate. Should Muslim women go to college? And guess what Daniel Iki, look how many views this got. This is this year, happened this year, and look at the amount of views it get. Over 250,000 views. Over 250,000 views. Over 250,000 views. And somebody said, I am honestly angry. The endless slander towards Daniel prior to the debate, during the debate, and after the debate is sickening. And if you listen to what Daniel say in the debate, you'll be like, whoa. Wow. Did he actually say that? Did he actually say what he just said? And somebody say what he say is sickening. I think I commented on this, but it was a long time ago, so that's gone. That may be gone so far. But if you look at Daniel's position, let me see if I can find his position when he is speaking.
Of history, quite lie who say
much about each other. So we're just talking, and at one point in the conversation, out of the blue, I told her.
So Daniel is giving.
He just cannot get himself to accept.
Daniel is giving a story about what he told his wife. Just listen to this.
He just cannot get himself to accept that there was a civil.
Watch it.
Give me a second, just one last line.
You're like a minute over time.
Yeah. He'll still call our heritage a feminist projection. Daniel, this is our history documented by our historians, Ibn Ishaq, Ibn Sa'd, Ibn Nadim. The truth is that civilizations are not the same. We had science in the Muslim world for 1,000 years. We didn't become atheists, but Europe did. So should we turn our backs on science just because Europe couldn't handle it? Feminism broke the family unit, yes, but not all cultures that empower women take the same trajectory.
I don't know what he talking.
She came to fully agree with me.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, now I'll deliver my opening statement, inshallah.
Listen to that.
Starting time. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, sallallahu. Alhamdulillah, I was blessed to marry my wife 13 years ago. We got married in college at Harvard. After the marriage, we sat down for one of our first meals together. At that point, we didn't really know much about each other. So we were just talking. And at one point in the conversation, out of the blue, I told her, you know what? I don't believe in women's education. She kind of looked shocked back at me, stunned, like I was from a different planet. Many of you watching this are probably just as confused as my wife was that night. But after I explained to her exactly why I don't believe in women's education and my Islamic reasons for this, she came to fully agree with me. I hope the same will be the case with everyone listening today. My position in this debate is simple. Pursuing education empowers women, but Islam is against empowering women. I know this sounds shocking to some, but
do you hear that? Islam is against empowering women. So here it is. Here is this woman in the Western world and telling us that Sharia law, that Sharia law is what govern the Western world. And here it is. She could go to school in the Western world. But Daniel Ikikachu will prove without doubt that Islam is against empowering women. But she went to school in a Western university, according to what she claimed, and she came out with nothing, proving Muhammad right. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy. But on her part, not on all women's part, but on her part, because I believe that women are equally intelligent, that women are very intelligent people. Muhammad asked the question, Muhammad asked the question. Muhammad says something like this. They asked Muhammad a question. Women asked Muhammad a question because Muhammad made a statement. So they asked him, why is it so, O Apostle of Allah? He replied, you curse frequently and you are ungrateful. So he's replying to these women. You curse frequently and you are ungrateful. And I have not seen anyone more deficient in intelligence and religion than you. A cautious, sensible man could be led astray by some of you. The woman asks, oh, Apostle, what is deficient in our intelligence and religion? He says, is not the evidence of two women equal to the witness of one man? They replied in affirmative. I don't know why they agree with him. He said, this is the deficiency in our intelligence. So Muhammad say women have a deficiency in her intelligence based on something that he created, that the witness of one man is equal to two women. And this woman went off, this woman came to the Western world. She went off to college, and going to college did not seem like it helped her. She went off to college and she believed that Western laws are based on Sharia law. Can you imagine that? And that the jury system that was invented over 300 years before Christ was invented by Islam. Wow. What a beautiful soul. Do you see this stupidity? Do you see the kind of thing that is going on here? Daniel Ikikachu said women should not go to school. And Islam is against women going to school.
Hear me out. What I mean by empowerment is increasing social status and power through education or career. Islam does not encourage women to gain power in this way. In fact, Islam is against it. You won't find anywhere in the Quran, in the Sunnah, or the scholarly tradition where women are encouraged to gain power and status in society. Does this mean that there weren't rich or powerful women in Muslim society? Of course, there have been many such women, but they had power by means of marriage, or through family ties, or through inheritance. And no matter how powerful these women were, they were still under the authority of their male family members or male political authorities. But
oh, wow. So before Islam, Muhammad married to a woman who controlled her wealth and was wealthy. Then after Islam, women have none such of those power. All that power was gone from a woman. So a woman cannot work to achieve anything. She, but look at the Western world. The Western world that this lady say is based on Sharia law. A woman could be a president. Muhammad says a country that have a woman president WOMAN as leader, a ruler, RULER. Let me see if I can find that. Let me show you what Muhammad said. Let me show you what Muhammad said. And in the Western world, we know that women can be rulers. We see that in Great Britain. Even right now in Great Britain, the Prime Minister of Great Britain is a woman. The last time I checked, unless I am dumber than a dumbbell, the last time I checked, but look what Muhammad says. Narrated Abu Bakr. The prophet said, a people who make a woman their ruler will never be successful. Reported by Al-Bukhari. Do you see that? A people who make a woman their ruler will never be successful. Here it is again. Narrated by Abu Bakr, during the battle of Al-Jamal, Allah benefit me with a word I heard from the prophet. When the prophet heard the news that the people of Persia had made the daughter of Kushra, their queen, ruler, he said, never will succeed such a nation as makes a woman their ruler. But this woman is here beating off her mouth, smearing her makeup, her lipstick, telling people that Islamic law, Sharia law, is what govern the decision here, that American law system was invented on Sharia law. Right now in Afghanistan, look it up if you think I'm lying. There's a video out where Muslim men in Afghanistan are beating their women like crazy, breaking their arm, breaking bones, breaking their arm, breaking their bones. You think I'm lying to you? I'm telling you the truth. I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you the truth. Let me show you. Women under Afghan, let me see, AFGHAN. Law. Let me see if this will come up. Do you see what it says? Taliban issue harsh new rules for Afghan women. Afghan shrinking rights for women under Taliban rule. And you will see where a reporter, they have no life. Afghan activists describe how women's rights deteriorate under Taliban rule because they are practicing the Sharia. What will Taliban rule mean for women? I hear of Taliban rule, how women's lives have changed in Afghanistan, BBC. You look and you see there's actually a woman reporter, brave as I would never do what she do. A woman reporter who went talk to Taliban leader. So maybe if I put Taliban here, Taliban, it might come up. But there is a woman leader who actually went inside and looked at women living under Taliban rule in Kabul. There is a woman, I don't see her video here, but that woman went to talk. We feel suffocated. Afghan women open up about life under. You think that if this woman who is talking to Bob was living under Taliban rule, she could be there talking to Bob? Under Sharia law, she could be there talking to Bob. At the end of the video, you see where Ali Dawa come and escort her away. So Ali Dawa may be her escort. Because under Taliban rule, a woman can't go nowhere without her escort. Listen to this. Afghan women face torture under Taliban rule. The woman went into Afghanistan. I would like you guys to see that one. And she talked to these people. They have broken arms from being beaten. But I think this is the one. This is the one. Clarissa Ward presses Taliban. Yes, this is the one. Look it up. I don't want to open it here because I don't want any strike against the channels. Clarissa Ward presses Taliban fighter and treatment of women. And it's 2.2 million views 1 year ago. I watched this several times because how brave this lady is. No women are involved in their jury. No women are involved in their jury. They don't have a woman in the court of law. So when a woman said that her husband beat her up, nothing come out of it. Broken arms, broken bones. Watch this if you think I'm lying. Clarissa Ward presses Taliban fighter and treatment of women. Brave as hell. Brave. I shouldn't even use the word brave as hell. But brave, this is the way Jamaicans speak. Man, you brave as hell. This is actually. You see what I'm saying? Leading process, defying Taliban and these weapons, what's pushing Afghan women to do the unthinkable. If they were living good, they wouldn't be doing these things over there. So when these clowns come to the Western world and they act as if what's happening in America is not better than what's happening into the worlds that they're running from, it shows how evil their mindset are and taking away from the Western society, trying to. And did you hear what Bob asked the woman? Did you hear what my brother Bob asked the woman? One of the wisest questions ever. One of the wisest questions ever. Let's go back to that point where he asked the question.
Before even our Lord was born. This is before Jesus Christ.
This is nonsense.
So can we just say to you, the reason
The brother said, this is nonsense. And what I always say, Islam is nonsense.
why Muslims like yourself are trying to claim the heritage that doesn't belong to you and are trying to claim every good idea as being an Islamic one is based on three things. Two principal things. Ignorance combined with arrogance.
Wow. Ignorance combined with arrogance. Look at her mouth now. She looked like she ready to do a selfie. You remember women used to do that thing where they purse their lip and ready to do a selfie. Look, arrogance. That is what you see in Islam. Muhammad Hijab behavior is based on arrogance. Ali Dawa behavior is based on arrogance. Daniel Ikika true behavior is based on arrogance. Farid response behavior is based on arrogance. Uthman ibn Farouk behavior is based on arrogance. Amzamayat behavior is based on arrogance. All these clowns, their behavior is based on arrogance. And this lady is arrogant. Very arrogant woman. You come making claim to something that have nothing to do with your religion and exists even before the advent of the Messiah. Do you see how evil these people are and lying and deceptive they are? The first comment, go up to the comment, the live chat, and you will see the first comment from a Muslim. Make an arrogant, illiterate, ignorant statement. Because that's what Muslims do. That's what Muslims do. And when I say Muslim, let me keep saying this. I'm not talking about the Muslim at his home, worry about what his kids going to wear and eat, and his wife problem and all this stuff. We're not talking about these Muslims are just regular Muslim out here just doing their business. We're talking about this dawah, because she's now trying to give dawah. What is she doing at the park? She come from America. You want to say American Muslima. What's she doing at the park? Because she come and say, oh, I'm going to go there and I'm going to meet Atuntash. I'm going to put her in her place because I am more intelligent. I go to a university that teach me that American law and European law is based from Sharia law. Senseless person, man.
You think you just stated because he showed you a little text message.
And do you notice she pursed her lip, but she didn't say nothing? Because the arrogance. That's the arrogance. He showed her text message that says that the jury system was invented from Sharia. And we are seeing sources that the jury system was implemented in certain places way before, in Athens, Greece, way before the advent of the Messiah. What a catastrophe, man.
I have not even
no, let me finish. You just said that the jury came from Islam. That is a lie. That is a lie. Do you agree with it? Do you agree with it?
I have not said anything about it. No, you should not assume.
Do you agree with it? I'm asking you.
Maybe not.
Maybe I'm
asking you. Do you see? Maybe or maybe not. This is what Muslims do. When they see their brothers are in error, they never correct their brothers. And that's why the error, the ignorance continue and the arrogance continue. Because if I see and Chris, let's say Chris Claus or my brother Hussein have a podcast and he make an error, I would say, hey, to the side, I would say, hey man, check out this. Did you make an error? Or maybe he didn't even make an error, but I thought he make an error. Or I thought they make an error. I said, did you make an error right here? And he would look into it and say, hey, yo, you know what? It's a blunder. Or he may say, no, you are the one in error. This is the way it goes and goes. This is what we as Christians do. We will see we make errors and we will correct the errors that we make because we are human beings. But when a Muslim make an error, guess what? It continue and continue and continue. Yesterday on the podcast, what you see? A Muslim there telling me, I am not worthy to clean the shoes of Uthman when Uthman is a liar. So I'm not worthy to clean the shoes of a liar. So, soap and water is not worthy to wash that man. Uthman ibn Farouk, the invention of soap and water cannot cleanse that man. That man is dirty from inside. If he swallow a gallon of bleach, it still wouldn't work. If he swallow a gallon of Pine Action, it still would not work. If he swallow a gallon of Parkside, it still would not cleanse him. He need the blood of Jesus Christ to cleanse him from his evil, wicked lies and stupidity.
Do you agree with it?
Can I just quickly point out that Plato calls this the Council of 10?
Yeah, thank you. Let us speak. Go on.
Is it nonsense?
Islam is
I like this brother, man. He said Plato called it the Council of Trent. This is nonsense. Literally nonsense.
definitely not based on arrogance. Definitely not based on.
Yeah, it is.
No, it
Yeah,
definitely
it is.
It's actually the most opposite of it at all.
So why
Ignorant is how you actually we should have respect for all people from religion.
That's not what your Quran says.
It does.
That's not what your Quran says.
What type of Quran do you have?
The Quran in Islam.
Listen to her. She's so ignorant that she's ignorant of history, and she's also ignorant of her Quran. He said the Quran says to be respectful to people of all religion. Is she a Sunni Muslim? But the Quran doesn't say that. The Quran even said to fight the people of the book, fight the Jews and the Christian. Take not the Jews and the Christian as your friend. Where does she get this idea that the Quran says? The Quran actually says you will not find the people. Let me read a Quran verse for her. I'll show you that the Quran tells you to have respect for. I don't know what's wrong with this lady, man. This lady need to come back to Jamaica, come back to America, sit down and have a burger and some fries. And think about what she just said. Sit down, you shall not find a people who believe in Allah on the last day befriending. Literally, that's not even what the verse says. This is totally not right, what the verse says. So let me actually read what the verse says. It's not befriending. It doesn't have nothing to do with no befriending. The verse says, you will not find a people who believe in Allah and the last day having affection for those who oppose Allah and his messenger, even if they were their father or their sons or their brothers or their kindred. And what does it mean to oppose? You don't have to do what I'm doing to oppose Muhammad. All you got to do is just don't believe in him. Not believing in Muhammad is an opposition to Muhammad. A man last month, or maybe this month, or early this month, a man in Nigeria killed his mother and father because he says they were talking against Muhammad. Your mother and father. Man, your father whose loin you came from, and your mother whose womb nurtured you for 9 months. 9 months. And then even after her womb nurtured you for 9 months. And I know what happened in third world countries. After her womb nurtured you for 9 months, her breast nurtured you for 2 years. Because I've seen in third world country, women giving breastfeed to their kid all the way to 2 years. And you murder that woman. You have the art to murder the woman whose womb carry you, whose breasts nourish you, whose hands clean your dirty buttocks and wash your nastiness and clean your dirty nose. You murder her for Muhammad. Muhammad, a semen-covered bastard from the 7th century, a nasty semen-covered, perverted-minded bastard. You kill your mother for that. This is what Islam do to people. Lipstick and hijab. I tell you, man, they will and pursing her lip like she is trying to attract somebody. What is wrong with her? Look at this clown. Say, get an EA Dawa, you coward. Why don't EA Dawa get on this? Idiot, things goes 2 ways. You're a dumb donkey. Didn't you know that things goes 2 ways? If EA Dawa come on my channel, I'm not going to mute him. But if I go on his channel, he mute me and kick me off. I've been on that channel before, you dumb clown. I've been there before. And as soon as I open my mouth, mute and gone. They are cowards and clowns. Who you calling a coward, you dumb idiot? Muhammad was a coward. While when they were fighting the battles, Muhammad was fighting, was at the back of the battle. Muhammad gave a man his sword to fight. He said, who will take my sword? But then these clowns make up stories that Muhammad was fighting and angel Gabriel was fighting with him. Liars. Muhammad was the biggest coward ever. When they go to war, Muhammad give a man his sword and say, who will take his sword and do honor to it? And a Muslim came up and said, I will take the sword. And he take the sword and he go kill people with it. Because Muhammad was a dumb coward. To show you that Muhammad was a coward, there was a time when Muhammad was bothering the Quraysh people about their idol, and they decided to kill his dumb butt. And Muhammad put Ali in the bed, and then he escaped to Medina. And when this assassin came in, Ali was in the bed. So they could have killed Ali instead of kill Muhammad. Muhammad was a dumb coward. God bless you too, my sister, Dragon. I don't know what this guy talking about. He said, get on EA Dawa. I've been on there, you stupid clown. And as soon as I open my mouth, they mute me and kick me off. If they weren't running from something, why are you kicking somebody off? Tell one of the EA Dawa cartoon and clown to come onto my platform and see if I'm going to kick that idiot off. Mo was a coward. He wore 2 shields strapped to his body over his... I said Mo was a clown and Mo fight the battle. Mo, one time Mo told the people, man, Mo told the people, he said, hey, this battle is easy. We're going to win this battle. So they go to the battle, and when they go to the battle was hard because Allah actually tell them that if it takes that a certain amount of them, like 100 of them, can kill 300 people. I can't remember exactly the numbers, so I'm just using numbers right here. But it's something similar to this. He said, if it is 100 of you, you can kill up to 300 people. They go to the war, and when they go to the war, what Allah say was a joke. Muhammad was at the back. So many of them died. Muhammad was at the back calling to them, retreat, retreat. Because Muhammad was a coward and a clown. I don't know what this guy talking about, EA Dawa. EA Dawa. Those idiots are clown, man. But go to EA Dawa. Idiot. Tell EA Dawa to come to here. If I'm not going to mute no EA Dawa, I'm not going to kick them off. I don't mute people. I don't kick people off. I use them as puppets here. They come here, I take them as a puppet. So at the end of the day, why are you telling me about EA Dawa? As if EA Dawa are going to stand up to the eat that I bring. They're not going to stand up to what I bring. What they're going to do is kick you off. So why are you telling me to go to EA Dawa? Tell EA Dawa to come here, you dumb clown. Mothers do a lot of work to bring up kids. Yes. And give birth to a kid. Can you imagine the pain that a woman go to give birth to her kid and her kid kill her? Her kid kill her just because of Muhammad. Just because of Muhammad, her kid kill her. I don't know what this guy talking about, EA Dawa, man. EA Dawa. EA Dawa. Like EA Dawa have nothing on me. EA Dawas are nothing but clowns. And they want soft people on their channel. They don't know how to reason. They want people who are soft so they can manipulate these people. Tell EA Dawa to come here and see see how long they fear here. You stupid clown. Talking nonsense. like I'm scared of EA Dawa. Go to EA Dawa. Why should I go to them? Why can't they come to me? I don't have a channel. I have 2 channels. Why can't they come? So why are you telling me to go to them as if they're better than I should go to them? Then they can do whatever they feel like doing to me, kick me off, and then talk behind my back. No. Let them come to me where I'm not going to kick them off. I'm going to reveal how stupid they are.
It was the same one.
Yeah. So the reality is,
Then
you've translated it wrong. How is it in the same Quran?
It's always better if we have a
Muslim translator, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Do you hear what he said? What she says to Bob? When Bob give her a Quran verse, she said, you translate it wrong. And then she's going to say, how is it that it is in the same Quran? It says something different in the same Quran. I've been telling people that Muhammad have 2 mouths. The God of Islam, the so-called God of Islam, have 2 mouths. With one mouth, it speaks something that if you listen to it, you'll be like, that's not sound too bad. But then when you listen to the other mouth, you realize that something is wrong with this God of Islam. Something definitely is wrong with this God of Islam.
Definitely not based on arrogance. Definitely not based on...
Yeah, it is.
No, it definitely
Yeah, it is.
It's actually the most opposite of it at all.
So why
Ignorance is how you actually we should have respect for all people from religion.
That's not what your Quran says.
It does.
It's not what your Quran says.
What type of Quran do you have?
The Quran, an Islamic
it was
Quran.
the same one.
Yeah. So
she said, what type of Quran do you have? There is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Qurans, which there is many Qurans. But all of the many Qurans, when it comes to how to treat people, the many Qurans are telling you that you can treat people in disrespectful manner. You can fight and kill people. And yesterday I show you on the video where the Muslim Sheikh Asim Al-Hakim, he says there was offensive jihad that exists at the time of the Prophet, and this kind of jihad, you do it for dawah, and it's not like somebody is oppressing you. You do it for dawah. You go and conquer an adjacent land, and you do it for dawah. So oppress people.
the reality is, then
you've translated it wrong. How is it in the same Quran?
It's always better if we have a
Muslim translator, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's produced. It's by Muslims. Look, it's
So
translated by Abdullah Yusuf Ali.
Yeah, but that's not the translator I use.
Well, which translation do you use?
So it's translated by Abdullah Yusuf Ali, who is a Muslim. He said, that's not the translation I use.
Yes. He's not. Abdullah Yusuf Ali is
Yeah, he's not. In this translation, in this translation, it calls Christians the worst of creatures.
No, and that's not how we interpret it.
So when you, that's what it's,
she said that's not how we interpret. She's preaching Weslam. Which country is she from? She's here preaching Weslam. She's not preaching Islam. Weslam. Let's brainwash the people in the West. I told you that that's what Islam is about. Let us brainwash the people in the West. Brainwash the people in the West. Brainwashing the people is the best. We are Islam, we are the best, and we put you to the test. You come to brainwash the people in the West. What a religion.
That's what it says. Yeah.
I'm a Christian, yeah? I can't tell about Jesus. You understand? I can simply open it. No, now he mentioned that. You say that, show him in your Quran.
She don't have a Quran with her, so she don't have the Quran in her brain. She said that's not how we interpret it, but she can tell how she interpret it. If somebody quotes something from the Bible and you said that's not the true interpretation, you must be able to tell the true interpretation because you are opposing what is being said. And it's not said by a Christian, it's said by a Muslim. The Christian is only paraphrasing what the Muslim said. Yusuf Ali is not a Christian. Yusuf Ali is a Muslim. he make his translation and he says Christians, that people who don't believe in Muhammad are the worst of creatures. That's a wrong interpretation according to her, but she can't tell you what the right interpretation is.
Let the lady speak. Please let the lady speak. Go on.
Quran and religion in itself is based upon respect. We have to, you can not know, but I definitely am sure that it is.
Yeah, it's not our experience. It's not our experience.
I've read the Quran.
Well, experience is different. People are imperfect.
I'm talking about 1400 years of experience.
That you don't live 1400 years to tell me something like
The
that.
church has its history.
Listen, you are so wrong in so many factors. It's literally amazing.
Prove
Amazing.
him to be wrong. Prove him to be wrong.
Okay, right. Go on. Finish your point.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Sorry. Go on. Let her finish her point.
Why are you here?
I apologize for interrupting you.
what
Please
reason
go on.
you are
Finish your
here?
point. Please, madam.
No, why are
You've
you
been
here?
interpreting 10 times.
Madam,
Why are you here?
let her finish her
If you
point.
believe on this,
Yeah, madam,
if you believe
miss,
on this thing,
Okay, if y'all can shut up, I swear I will go.
miss. What, finish your point.
If you don't shut up, I swear you go. Nobody gonna miss you. Miss you and your ignorance. I'm gonna miss your ignorance. So if you go, so please don't go, baby. Please don't go. I will miss your ignorance if you go. You know, if you go, I will miss your ignorance if you go.
Go on. Let her finish your point.
I don't know what type of interpretation you use, but in the baseline,
Yeah.
every Islamic person, you have to be respecting towards everyone's deen. You do you, I do me.
No, let her finish her point. Go on. Sorry.
Do you remember what she said? You do you, I do me. Where she get that from? I wonder. She is a new prophet of Islam, man. You do you, I do me. Isn't she a beautiful prophet? Man, she's a new prophet of Islam. You do you, I do me. How is this? How is this Islam? You do you, I do me. There would not be no dawah if it is you do you, I do me. If there is you do you, I do me, there is no dawah at all. And that's literally the truth. If it's all about you do you and you do me, there would be no dawah, so there would be no use for these dawah preachers out here preaching. If you do you and I do me. So this is a lie. They don't even look into what they say before they say it. Let me show you something. I'm just going to read it for her. If Muhammad didn't practice you do you and I do me, never practice that. Never. This is why you know that when these Muslims talk, you don't listen to them. Let me show you if I can find it. Let me show you. It's nothing about no you do you, you do me. A lie, it's a lie, it's a lie. Let me show you something. Abu Hurairah narrated Abu Hurairah, while we were in the mosque, the Prophet came out and said, let us go to the Jew. So we went until we reached Beit ul-Madras. He said to them, if you embrace Islam, you will be safe. You should know that the earth belongs to Allah and his apostle, and I want to expel you from the land. And this is Sahih al-Bukhari 3167. If it was you do you, you do me, Muhammad would not be threatening people that if you don't embrace Islam, I will expel you from the land. And look what happened after Muhammad died. Narrated Umar. Umar expelled the Jews and the Christians from Hijaz. When Allah Apostle had conquered Khaybar, he wanted to expel the Jews from it as its land became the property of Allah, his apostle, and the Muslims. So, because the city belonged to the Muslims now, they conquered the city belonged to them, expel the people. So the people who own the land, they conquer the land and now expel the people from the land. Allah's apostle intended to expel the Jews, but they request him to let them stay there on condition that they would do labor and get off of the fruits. So they would be farmers and plant the land, and all they get from what they plant is half of the fruits, and the Muslim eat from the Jewish labor. And then this lady coming here talking about our religion teach that you should respect other people's belief. That's a lie. Here it is, where the Jews used to be slaves of the Muslims. Literally, the Jews used to be slaves of the Muslim, and Muhammad threatened the Jews, if you don't embrace Islam, I will expel you from this land. So Umar expelled the Jews and the Christians from the land after Muhammad died. Umar expelled them from the land. But yet still, you do you and you do me. And we can't live in the same place and you do you and you do me. No, that's not what Islam is about. There is nothing about you do you and you do me in Islam. That's a lie.
Let her finish her point. Go on.
But verily, verily, I said to you that only Islam will be accepted to you.
Yes,
So
but it
that's a
doesn't mean that we
contradiction.
should not respect each other.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not.
By default, it
Even
does.
let me tell that. Like,
The thing
Okay,
is,
let
we're
me
getting
start-
off the point. I'm trying to come back to the point that we were talking about in terms of
your
Islamic
point
law
was to me-
and
towards
Western
me,
law.
Your point now towards me was one thing.
Yeah.
People who are Muslim are ignorant.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, what did you say?
No, I said that your statements and the statements that Muslims make when they try to claim even things like juries that even Plato was talking about before Islam are Islamic, and we got them from Islam, is a statement based on ignorance and arrogance combined.
Ignorance and arrogance.
Tell him we call them Ahl Kitab. We never call them anything else.
Let's say about jewelry. Isn't a material thing we don't care about at the end of the day. First of all, ignorance, and I will tell you, and I'll tell you 10 times, ignorance and arrogance are two things that separate you from deen. The more you are looking towards that and being selfish, you are not working as a Muslim person. You are not working correctly.
See what this lady don't understand. In Islam, ignorance and arrogance is totally different from the real meaning of ignorant and arrogance. Muslims have no idea what ignorance and arrogance mean. They don't. Look at the behavior of Uthman ibn Farouk. If you ask that clown if he's ignorant and arrogant, he will tell you no. And you see the Muslim came on the podcast, comment on the podcast yesterday saying, I'm not worthy to clean Uthman's shoes. That's arrogance and ignorance. Because what? In the same video we are making, showing how stupid Uthman ibn Farouk is, he's making a comment like that, just showing you how arrogant and ignorant they are, because they are really arrogant and ignorant. So what I want to say, man, this is going to continue and over and over and over. I just wanted to show you how this Muslim woman came to Speaker's Corner making claims that that modern Western law is based on Sharia law, and that it is Napoleon Bonaparte, when he conquered Egypt, that's where he get the law from. So the law that we have here in the Western world derived from when Napoleon Bonaparte conquered Egypt. Along with his Muslim brother, he said the jury system is created from Islamic source, from the Sharia law. We see where this is so lame and stupid, because the jury system goes all the way back before the Messiah, from 400 BC. This is how Islam may claim that cannot be substantiated with historical fact. We see the same thing with their God, making claims that cannot be substantiated. Dul-Qarnain, all this stupid stuff, cannot be substantiated. And if we were saying, okay, these things happen at the beginning of time, some of the things that they were saying happened at the beginning of time, then we say, it's kind of difficult to substantiate these things. But who is Dul-Qarnain? According to the Muslims, is Alexander the Great. And there are some creatures living in a place waiting to break out loose a new man. Our brother Chris Claus, I just want to tell you guys, I have a video coming out. I think it might be today. I was working when I was watching his podcast, so I didn't get to see everything that I want to see. I'll watch the rest of it tonight. But my brother Chris Claus says he have a video about the Dajjal. I'll start laughing already because I know it's gonna be funny. he have a video, and a matter of fact, I'm gonna take my brother's video and make a video from his video because I know it's gonna be funny. So about the Dajjal, the land of the Dajjal or something like that, or the island of the Dajjal. The island of the Dajjal. And in the video, the Muslims say something about an eerie creature, that the creature is eerie, that the creature is a very eerie creature that they meant, the land of the Dajjal. I don't know about these Muslims. Muhammad met a boy called Saeed and thought the boy was the Dajjal. So I wonder if that boy was a very eerie boy. I don't know, man. This is the nonsense of Islam, man. The stupidity of Islam. Like when you listen to other cults, you say, wow. But listen to the cult of Islam, you be like, wow. Can you imagine that people believe in this nonsense? Like they believe in this nonsensical type of stuff. There's a land where there is these living creature and it's here on earth, and they're living behind a wall and they're breaking through. They almost break through. What kind of wall is it that Dul-Qarnain could have made that is so strong that these creatures are still behind that wall? These creatures maybe don't have any hands, and they don't have any mouth, and they maybe, I don't know what they have. They may be just like a blobber. They can't break down nothing. They can't dig into nothing. For take them so long to break through a wall made by Dul-Qarnain. And what did Dul-Qarnain make the wall from? I don't know. I don't know. Oh boy. The religion of Muhammad. Muhammad was a crazy person who believed that he could hear dead people crying in the grave. He passed by a cemetery and he could hear dead people crying. When you go and when I was a young man, somebody was digging a grave somewhere, but somebody had already buried there, and they didn't know that nobody had buried there because it was way back in the days. Way back. So when they dig the grave and they got to a point, they found bones and skulls and stuff. With skull is a bone. They found bones, of leg bone and finger bones and all kind of stuff And we as kids, we see it, and as kids, it touches us to know that that's a human bone, and we actually dig up a human grave. I remember I went home and was asking so much questions because it bothered me to know that we actually see a human bone like that, you know. And when I listen to Islam about Muhammad hearing people crying in their grave, it just make me see how stupid Muhammad was, because all that is in the grave is bone. The flesh goes back to the dust where it came from, and the bone is there. And even after a time, the bone itself go back to the dust. Even after years, the bone itself, after years, will go back to the dust where it came from. But Muhammad is saying that, oh, when you die, you suffer in your grave, and the grave is squeezing you. Squeezing what? Do you have nerve cell when you die so that you can feel pain? Do you? You're in the grave hollering, wow, wow. You know? And this is why the Messiah says, the Son of Man will return with his angel, and he shall reward every man according to their deed. There is no one suffering nowhere. People are rewarded according to their deed when the Son of Man return. You don't get your reward before the Son of Man return, and this is why we know that Islam is a lie. This is why we know, because it is the Prophet of Islam that is saying these things. See, when Christians read some things and they come to a conclusion about some things, and it might have some error in what their conclusion is, they are regular human being. Regular human being. But when a Muslim say the Prophet of Islam make these claims, how did he get these claims? Like, how did he know that you suffer in your grave and the grave squeeze you and all that stuff? How did he know those things? Did he make it up? Or did he hear it from Gabriel? Or did he hear it from Allah? According to him, he heard it from Allah, and he could hear these people crying in the grave. He's not like when a Christian say, oh, your soul go to hell after you die and you're punishing there. That's a different story, because a Christian is saying that based on some things that he may have misunderstood and stuff like that. But when Muhammad is saying that, he actually telling you that it was revealed to him. He's telling you that the grave is squeezing the person. How do you know that the grave is squeezing that person? Where did you get that from? That's a revelation. So there are things that was revealed to Muhammad that Muhammad didn't even write. Revealed to Muhammad. And if these things are revealed to Muhammad, why is it not in the Quran? Why is it Allah revealed things to Muhammad that is not written in the Quran? Why was it that Allah was revealing all these things to Muhammad and these things were not written down in the Quran? You will be tormented in the grave. Where is it in the Quran that you will be tormented in the grave? Where is it in the Quran that the grave will squeeze you? Where is it in the Quran, Muhammad? Some of the things that Muhammad said. This is just showing you that Muhammad just make up things as he go along. Just make up things to keep the people stimulated by him. To keep people stimulated by him, he just make up things. Make up whatever to drive fear into the people. You will suffer in the grave. And this is what can save you from suffering in the grave. Nobody want to be suffering in their grave for years upon years and years. So they got fear of him. They become fearful. And they do whatever he says. Or you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded with women in Jannah. So they become fearful and loving of him and believing in him. Oh, if I want the female in Jannah, I'll have to do what the Prophet says. Because sex was important to the people of the time. Sex is important to the people of the time. And even though sex is important to the people of this time, people are not stupid enough, except people are not stupid enough to believe that you're gonna the majority of the people in the Western world are not stupid enough to believe that, oh, when I die, I'm gonna go to Jannah and I'm gonna have sex all day if I want to. Literally, the Quran says you could have what your soul desire. You could be eating a bowl of ice cream and having sex at the same time. All day, just eating ice cream, drinking, and having sex at the same time. Because you could have whatever your soul desire. What a religion. Anyway, man, I want to say all praises to the triune God, the God who is above all gods, the God who gives us wisdom to decipher things and to make sense of sensible things, and to make nonsense of things that are nonsense. And we know that Islam is nothing but arrogance, ignorance, and nonsense. And you see it right in this lady right here. You see the arrogance, the ignorance, and the nonsense. The things that come out of her mouth cannot be substantiated by any historical evidence, not whatsoever. The things that she say is all about glorification, put Islam above other people, put Islam above everything. In the Netherlands, the law of this was by Islam. In this, in Canada, all over the world, they copy Islam. They copy Islam. They are running from the Sharia law to come to our world, but they are claiming that our world is built on Sharia law. Nonsense. Totally illiterate nonsense. So I want to say peace out, man, and God bless you all, man, and thank you for being here. My brother say here, they believe the Dajjal will be a Jew. No, I'll tell you guys, tune in, man, to Chris Claus' podcast. I think it's tonight. I think so. I think it's tonight. Just look and see when the brother is going to give you that Dajjal thing. I have a feeling it's going to be funny and funny as hell. The Dajjal thing is going to be funny. I just have a feeling. Dajjal will be Arab or not. The Mahdi will be Arab or not. I have no idea about their stuff. All I know, they say only Jesus, Isa, can kill the Dajjal. When Abu Bakr wanted to kill the boy, Muhammad said to Abu Bakr, if he is who you think he is, you will not be able to kill him. I don't know, man. Islam is just fairy tale, man. Anyway, peace out, my brothers. Peace out, my sisters. Thank you guys for tuning in, and God bless you all, man. And tomorrow, let me tell you, tomorrow I have something on the Trinity. I have a video on the Trinity coming tomorrow, if it's God's will. I have Sam Shamoun, part of it featuring Sam Shamoun, and part of it featuring a special guest that once was a follower of Jesus Christ and once was a brother of Sam Shamoun, but now he's going around acting like he's a Muslim and attacking the Trinity. You will see something that he says that makes no sense whatsoever. So we are going to be doing a video on his video tomorrow, and that's what we are going to do tomorrow, something based on the Trinity. And we are going to show this guy how naive he is, and the fact that Muslims, I'm going to tell you, when Bob said that these Muslims, Dawa, they base their thing on ignorance. You could see it plain as day that they base their things on arrogance and ignorance. Everything that the guys say in the video have nothing to do with Christianity. You will see nothing to do with the Trinity, what he says in the video have nothing to do with the Trinity at all. The belief in the Trinity, what this guy will say in the video, I will show you tomorrow if it is God's will, have nothing to do with the Trinity, but just is shallow belief. And the questions that he asks at the bottom of, at the last part of the video, make no sense whatsoever. Like literally make no sense whatsoever. He ignore all that Christian believe Jesus is, ignore all that Christian believe the Holy Spirit is, the role of the Father, the role of Jesus, the role of the Holy Spirit. He ignore all that to teach a stupid doctrine. And that's what we'll be talking about tomorrow at about 2 o'clock. If it's God's will, we'll be talking about that. So peace out, my brothers, and peace out, my sisters, and God bless you all, man. And keep it 100% Jesus. And don't do anything that Jesus would not do. You'll be safe. So God bless you.